Hello all, welcome to Genius channel. We are going to see NDA 2 2021 question paper. NDA 2 2021. So we'll be seeing the questions and solutions for NDA 2 2021. Okay. So read the first question. If sine theta and cos theta are roots of the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, then which one of the following is correct? Okay, so see here, this is a question from quadratic equation, isn't it? So ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That is a quadratic equation. So how would you do? What is the relation you know? They are saying sine theta and cos theta are roots, isn't it? So sine theta plus cos theta, that is equal to minus b by a. Sine theta cos theta is equal to c by a. Remember, alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Alpha beta is equal to c by a. Okay, so what we'll do now, just square both sides, here. That is a square is a plus b the whole square, that is a square plus b square plus 2ab. You'll be getting 1 plus 2 sine theta cos theta, that is equal to, this will become b square by a square. Now what we have here, we have 1 plus 2, what is sine theta cos theta, that is nothing but c by a, that is equal to b square by a square. So how would you do? You'll do a plus 2c by a is equal to b square by a square. Okay. So how can you proceed further? Just try to open the brackets. So I'm cancelling a and a here. So this will become a square plus 2ca is equal to b square. That means a square minus b square plus 2ca is equal to 0. So what is the correct relation? Option C. Option C is the correct relation. So we are just applying alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Alpha beta is equal to c by a. Okay. So let's go to the next question. If C of n comma 4, C of n comma 5, C of n comma 6 are in AP, then what is the value of n? Okay, so we have C of n comma 4, C of n comma 5, C of n comma 6, isn't it? So these are in AP. So these are in AP means they will have a common difference. So C of n comma 5, it will have a common difference. So C of n comma 5 minus combination of n comma 4 is equal to C of n comma 6 minus C of n comma 5. Why? Because difference between these two is same as difference between these two. So 6 minus 5 is equal to 5 minus 4. Okay, now what is the formula for combination? N factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. So just substitute that. So that will be n factorial by 5 factorial into n minus 5 factorial minus n factorial by 4 factorial into n minus 4 factorial, that is equal to n factorial by 6 factorial into n minus 6 factorial minus n factorial by 5 factorial into n minus 5 factorial. So once you substitute, once you solve this, you'll be getting the answer as option A, 7. Okay. So the solution part I'm not showing because that is just solving. You can cancel n factorial from both sides. You'll have 1 here. If you want, you can substitute from the option and see, or otherwise solve it. Okay. Best option would be substitute from the option and see. Okay. When you substitute from the option, that will be easy. Okay, so answer would be option A. So moving on to the next question. how many four-letter words without meaning containing two vowels can be constructed using only the letters of the word Lucknow? Okay, so here the answer is 240. Answer is 240 because you have how many letters here? You have totally 7 letters, isn't it? So from 7 letters, you have to choose 4 letters, isn't it? So 7C4. Okay, and from that combinations, you need exactly the two vowels, exactly the words having two vowels. So that is a very direct question. So your answer would be was option A, 240. So moving on to the next question. Moving on to the next question. Suppose 20 distinct points are placed randomly on circle. Which of the following statements is correct? So on circle, you are taking 20 distinct points like this. The number of straight lines that can be drawn by joining any 2 points. So joining two points, you have to know how many straight lines is possible. So for drawing a straight line, you need how many points? You need 2 points, isn't it? So 20C2. So that is 20 factorial by 2 factorial into 20 minus 2, that is 18 factorial. So what did you be getting? So this will go, that will be 20 into 19 by 2. So that is not 20 into 19 by 2, that is not 380. So this is the first statement is wrong. Then moving on to the second statement. See, so you have to choose which statement is correct. Okay, so the first statement is wrong. First statement is wrong. Now you have to see the number of triangles that can be drawn by joining any 3 of these points is 1140. So let's see number of triangles. So for drawing triangle, how many points you need? For drawing triangle, you need 3 points, isn't it? So totally you have 20 points. So 20C3. So what is 20C3? 20 factorial by 3 factorial into 17 factorial, isn't it? So just try that 20 into 19 into 18 by 3 into 2, 6. That is, so you get 6 here. So once you solve this, what you're going to get? You will be getting 1140. So second statement is correct. So 2 only is the correct option. Correct option is 2 only for this question. Correct option is 2 only. So we have to just do here. We are applying the formula 20C2. Here we are applying the formula 20C3. So the statement is wrong. We are not getting 380. Here we will be getting the answer is 1140. So this is the correct statement. So answer is 2 only. Option B, 2 only. 2 only is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Moving on to the next question. Question number 5. How many terms are there in the expansion of a square by b square plus b square by a square plus 2 the whole raised to 21? Very easy question. So how do you solve this? A square plus b square plus 2a square b square divided by a square b square the whole raised to 21, isn't it? So that is nothing but, how do you do this? Okay, this will become a raised to 4 and b raised to 4 when you do the LCM, isn't it? So this will become a square plus b square the whole square divided by a square b square the whole raised to 21. So that will become a square. This will become a square plus b square by ab the whole raised to 42, isn't it? Whole raised to 42. So 42 whole raised to 42 means you will be having 42 plus 1 terms. They are asking how many terms, isn't it? So 42 plus 1, there will be 43 terms. There will be 43 terms. Okay. So moving on to the next question. The inverse of matrix A is given by. You have to find the inverse of the matrix. So how to find the inverse of the matrix? So this is a 2 by 2 matrix, how to find it inverse? Either you can do elementary transformation, or you can do uh, 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. Any method is fine. So A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. So do that direct question. You'll be getting the answer. So when you do, you'll be getting the answer as option A. Okay. So that is a direct question. You have to just find the determinant. Determinant, you know, that is minus 2 into minus 1 by 2 minus 1 into 3 by 2. So find out the determinant. Then after that, find out the adjoint. So finding out the adjoint, you have to find the minor. So that is clear. So adjoint is nothing but transpose of cofactors in its reminder. Remember that. Okay, so that is a direct question. So you'll be getting the answer as option A. Okay, you'll be getting the answer as option A. Moving on to the next question. For what value of k is a system of equations? 2k square x plus 3y minus 1 equal to 0, 7x minus 2y plus 3 equal to 0, 6kx plus y plus 1 equal to 0, consistent. So consistent means what? You should have a solution, isn't it? So how to do that? So if it is consistent, you will get a1 b1 minus c1, a2 b2 minus c2, a3 b3 minus c3. You equate that determinant to 0. So a1 is here 2k square, b1 is 3 minus c1, isn't it? So minus 1. So likewise, you have to put these entire values in this determinant, equate that to 0. You'll be getting the value of k as option B, 21 plus or minus root of 161 by 10. Okay. So that is also a very direct question. So moving on to the next question. If sine A plus B is equal to 1 and 2 sine A minus B is equal to 1, 0 less than A, B less than pi by 2, then what is tan A is to tan B? Very easy question. So how to do that? Sine A plus B is equal to 1 by 2. So we know that, sorry, 1. Sine A plus B is equal to 1. So we know that sine 90, isn't it? Sine 90 is equal to 1. Then 2 sine A minus B is equal to 1. That means what? Sine A minus B. A minus B is equal to 1. 1 by 2. Sine A minus B is equal to 1 by 2. That means sine 30 is equal to 1 by 2. So A plus B is equal to 90. A minus B is equal to 30. So what is that? So 2A is equal to 120. So you will get A is equal to 60. A is equal to 60. B is equal to what? 30. So what you need? Tan A is to tan B. So tan 60, that is root 3, is to tan 30, that is 1 by root 3. You will be getting the answer as 3 is to 1. So option D is the correct answer. Option D is the correct answer. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Moving on to the next question. What is the period of the function f of x is equal to, what is the period of the function f of x is equal to ln 2 plus sine square x, isn't it? So how can we write sine square x as? Sine square x is nothing but 1 minus, so okay, I'm writing here, sine square x is nothing but 1 minus cos 2x, 1 minus cos 2x by 2, isn't it? 1 minus cos 2x by 2 from the formula of cos 2x, isn't it? So what is the period of this function cos x? What is the period? That is nothing but 2 pi, isn't it? So this 2 pi divided by 2. So that is Answer is 5. Answer is 5, option B. It's 5, option B. So moving on to the next question. Consider all the real roots of the equation. Consider all the real roots of the equation. X raised to 4 minus 10 x square plus 9 equal to 0. What is the sum of absolute values of the roots? Absolute values of the roots. Listen, you have to find the roots of this equation and you have to find the sum of the absolute values, isn't it? So x raised to 4. So if I find out the root, what I'll get? I can replace this as y square minus, if I put x square is equal to y, this will become y square minus 10y plus 9 equal to 0. So if I find out the roots, I'll be getting the roots as so if I multiply, I need to get 9. And if I add, I need to get it as 10, isn't it? So I'll be getting the roots as values of x as 3 minus 3, 1 minus 1. You put like this and find out the value of x. So x I'll be getting as 3. So here it is raised to 4. So surely I'll be having 4 roots. So 3 minus 3, 1 minus 1. They are asking the sum of the absolute values. Sum of the absolute values means what? You have to take the modulus. So 3, this will be 3. So this will be 1, this will be 1. So add all these things. So 6 plus 2, you'll be getting the answer as 8. Answer is option C, 8. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Consider a regular polygon with 10 sides. What is the number of triangles that can be formed by joining the vertices which have no common side with any of the sides of the polygon? Consider a regular polygon with sides 10. What is the number of triangles that can be formed by joining the vertices which have no common side with any of the sides of the polygon? Okay, so how to proceed? Okay, so how many sides are there? 10 sides are there, isn't it? So for drawing a triangle, you need 3 points. So the possible values are m into m minus 4 into m minus 5 divided by 6. Okay, so here it is 10, isn't it? So 10 into 10 minus 4, 10 into 6 into 5 divided by 6. So answer is 50. Option B. 50 is the correct answer. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. The next question. Consider the expansion of 1 plus x the whole raised to n. Let p, q, r, and s be the coefficients of first, second, nth, and n plus 1 the terms respectively. What is ps plus qr? What is ps plus qr? So listen, they have given the expansion, they have given the coefficients, isn't it? So it is a direct question. You have to find ps plus qr. ps plus qr. So you have to put it, this is a direct question from binomial expansion, isn't it? Binomial expansion. So first coefficient of first term, second term, everything is given. So you can just put those values here. You will be getting the answer as option C, 1 plus n square. Option C, 1 plus n square. Moving on to the next question. Let sine inverse x plus sine inverse y plus sine inverse z is equal to 3 pi by 2 for 0 less than x, y, z less than equal to 1. What is the value of x raised to 1000 plus y raised to 1001 plus z raised to 1002? Option 0, 1, 3, 6. So how to proceed this? So they have given 3 pi by 2, isn't it? 3 pi by 2. So this will, can be like pi by 2, pi by 2, pi by 2, isn't it? So pi by 2 plus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. There that will be giving 3 pi by 2, isn't it? They have given 3 pi by 2, isn't it? So which option can be the correct one? So pi by 2 plus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Okay. So if sine inverse x is to be pi by 2, what should be sine x? That will be 1, isn't it? So x should be 1, isn't it? See, we know sine pi by 2 is equal to 1. That means sine inverse 1 is equal to pi by 2. So this is 1 plus, sorry. So you'll get x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, z is equal to 1, isn't it? Sine inverse 1 is equal to pi by 2. So here x is equal to 1, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, z is equal to 1. So what you need? 1 plus 1, answer is 3. That is option C. Option C, 3 is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Let sin x plus sin y is equal to cos x plus cos y for all xy element of R. What is tan x by 2 plus y by 2? Very easy question. So here you have to just see, substitute some value in C. So if I am putting x as 0, y as 1. So y as 90 degree. So sin x, that is sin 0, 0, sin 91. Then if I'm putting x as 0, no, so cos 0, that is cos 0. So cos 90. So cos 0, that is 1. Cos 90, that is 0. So I can take x as 0, y as 90. So what I need here, I need tan 0 by 2 plus 90 by 2. So that is nothing but tan 45 degree. So that is option A1. Option A1 is the correct answer. Option A1 is the correct answer. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Let a is equal to 0, 2, minus 2, 0, 0, 2, minus 2, 0, and mi plus na the whole square is equal to a, where m comma n are positive real numbers and I is the identity matrix. What is m plus n equal to? What is m plus n equal to? Okay, so try that. A is equal to 0, 2, this one. Then you have to m and n are real numbers and I is identity matrix. You need to find this one. Okay, so m into identity matrix 1, 0, 0, 1 plus n into a. A is 0, 2, minus 2, 0. The whole square they have given us a matrix, isn't it? A matrix, that is 0, 2, minus 2, 0. So you have to get the answer. You have to find what you have to find m plus n. Okay. So here this condition will be satisfied only if m plus n is equal to 0. M plus n is equal to 0. If m plus n is equal to 0, just open the bracket and see, this will become m0, 0, m plus this will become 0, 2n minus 2n, 0, the whole square, isn't it? So when you add this, what you will get? You will get m 2n minus 2n m, isn't it? The whole, this matrix square, you have to get it as what? You have to get it as 0, 2, minus 2, 0. So this is possible when m plus n is equal to 0. That is option A. Option A, m plus n is equal to 0. Correct answer is option A. Okay, so you have to open this and see. So can be like 0 or 3 by 2. If you open, when you find the solution, will be getting two answers. Okay, 0 and 3 by 2. So maybe some option mistake, or so that's a doubtful question. So moving on to the next question. So there can be some questions like that too. Yeah, when the UPSC will be publishing the answer, he can confirm that. Okay, so in this question paper, repetition is happening. See first question. No. Yeah. So next question. Consider the digits. Consider the digits. 3579. What is the number of 5-digit numbers? What is the number of 5-digit numbers formed by these digits in which each of these 4 digits appear? So how can you do this? See, we already have 5 places in which. So 5 factorial. Now listen, from this 2 will be repeating, isn't it? Because only we have 4 numbers. So 2 will be repeating. So divided by 2 factorial. Now we have only got 4 digits, isn't it? 4 like digits here, but we need 5. So this portion can be occupied by any of the 4. So our answer is 5 factorial by 2 factorial into 4. So that is 120 into 4 by 2. That is 240. Option A is the correct answer. Option A is the correct answer. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Next question, option A was the correct answer for that question. Now, how many matrices exist with all 4 entries? How many distinct matrices exist with all 4 entries taken from 1, 2? Taken from 1, 2. Okay, so how many possible? So here 48 matrices are possible. 48 matrices are possible. 48 matrices are possible. So you can check 1, 2. So single matrices, two matrices are possible. So then if it is a row matrix, one row matrix is possible. Okay. Two row matrices are possible, isn't it? Then if it is a column matrix, 1, 2, that is also 2 possible, isn't it? So likewise, you have to check. So how many distinct matrices with all 4 entries, taken from 1, 2? Sorry, how many distinct matrices exist with all 4 entries? So you need 4 entries. Okay, you need 4 entries. Yeah. It cannot be like singleton. It can be 4 entries. So there should be 4 entries taken from 1 to 1, 2. Okay, so it can be like 1, 2, 2, 1, or 1, 1, 2, 2. So totally when you try, there will be 48 possibilities. 48 possibilities. Cannot be 14. It can only be 16, right? Isn't it? Because they are asking only taking 1 and 2. Only taking 1 and 2. How many matrices are possible, isn't it? So 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, like that. If you write, there are 4 elements, and how many? 4 into 4. So that is 16 possibilities. Only 16 possibilities. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Next question. If I is equal to root of -1, how many values does I raised to -2n have? Okay. So I is equal to root of -1. Answer here is, so they are saying I is equal to root of -1. How many values I raised to -2n can have? I raised to minus 2n can have. So it will be having two values. It will be having two values. So moving to the next question. If x is equal to a by, if x is equal to a by b minus c, y is equal to b by c minus a, z is equal to c by a minus b. So this is y, this is z, this is c minus a, b by, so this is c by a minus b. This is x is equal to a by b minus c. What they are asking, what is the value of the following? What is the value of the following? That is determinant of 1 minus x, x, 1, 1, 1, minus y, 1 is at 1. Okay. So you have to substitute here and see. You have to substitute here and see. You'll be getting the answer as 0. Substitute here and see. Just direct question. Substitute, apply the elementary operation. You'll be getting the answer as 0. Moving to the next question. Consider the following in respect of the matrix A 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So inverse of A does not exist. A cube is equal to A, 3A is equal to A square. So which is the correct? Which is the correct statement you have to choose? Okay. So here, what do you get? Determinant. If you find the determinant, determinant is not equal to 0. So we cannot say that. You just check the determinant. Determinant will not be 0, isn't it? Okay. So see, you have to see the determinant. If determinant exists, determinant is not equal to 0, then fine, it exists. Okay, so let's see determinant. So that will be 1 minus 1 into 1 minus 1. So that is 0, minus 1 into again 0, then minus 1 into again 0. So that is 0, you'll get 0. So it does not exist. That is correct statement. Yeah. Because here determinant is equal to 0. So if determinant is equal to 0, what there does not exist, inverse does not exist, isn't it? Inverse does not exist. Inverse does not exist. Now what you need? A cube. A cube is equal to A. You can check that using this matrix, isn't it? A cube is equal to A or what? Just check A cube. Just check A cube whether you are getting A, and as well as you can check 3A also. 3A is nothing but you multiply every element with 3. 3A also you multiply, what you get. So A cube you will not get as A cube, if you check, you will not get it as A. So here 3A is equal to A square. That will be correct. So answer is 1 and 3. Answer is 1 and 3. 1 and 3 is the correct answer. Here we get the determinant equal to 0. That means that it does not exist. Inverse, that is correct one. Then you do 3A, you'll be getting A square. Okay. So 1 and 3 is the correct answer. Very direct question from matrix. So we'll go to the next question. A circle is passing through. A circle is passing through the points 5, minus 8, minus 2, 9, and 2, 1. What are the coordinates of the center of the circle? A circle is passing through these 3 points. You have to find the coordinate of the center of the circle. Coordinate of the center of the circle. So how would you do? This takes some calculations. Why? Because they have given the equation of the, they have given the points through which the circle passes. So what is the equation of the circle? X minus h the whole square plus y minus k the whole square is equal to r square, where h comma k is the center, r is the radius. So what you have to do is you have to substitute this one. So take the this one first point 5, minus 8. So 5 minus h the whole square plus
minus 8 minus k the whole square is equal to r square. Take the second one. Similarly, write the equation minus 2 minus h the whole square plus you have to find the center, isn't it? So minus 2 minus h the whole square plus 9 minus k the whole square is equal to r square. Then take the third one. So 2 minus h the whole square plus 2 minus h the whole square plus 1 minus k the whole square is equal to r square. Okay. So one thing you can do is you can take the option and check. You can take the option and check. So you'll be getting the answer as minus 58 comma minus 24. Minus 58 comma minus 24 as the answer. As the sender. Sender, if you solve this equation, you will be getting the answer as minus 58 comma minus 24. So I'm just substituting in the first equation. So 5 minus minus 58 the whole square plus minus 8 minus minus 24 the whole square. So you'll be getting it as 65 square. Okay, 65 square. So that means r is equal to 65. So you have got the sender as minus 58 comma minus 24. So this first question is regarding sender. So that's you'll get the answer as minus 58 comma minus 24. Okay. So next sub question. So there are two questions that follows this section. So next sub question is if r is the radius of the circle, which one of the following is correct? So r less than 10, r 10 less than, r less than 30, r 30 less than, r less than 60, r greater than 60. So we got r as 65. So r is obviously greater than 60, isn't it? So option D is the correct answer. Okay. So moving to the next one. Consider the following for the next two items that follow. The two vertices of an equilateral triangle are 0, 0 and 2, 2. Consider the following statements. Two vertices of an equilateral triangle, they have given 0, 0 and 2, 2. Consider the following statement. You have to choose the correct statement. Okay, you have to choose the correct statement here. So first statement, the third vertex has at least one irrational coordinate. Third vertex have at least one irrational coordinate. The area is irrational. Okay. So this is something we have to calculate and see. Okay, so the third vertex you can find using distance formula, isn't it? Because this distance is equal to this distance, that is equal to this distance. So if you put this as some x comma y, so x minus 0 root of x square plus y square, you will get here as root of x minus 2 the whole square plus if you apply the distance formula, root of y minus 2 the whole square. So that is root of x square plus y square is equal to, here you will get as root of x square minus 4x plus 4 plus y square minus 4x plus 4. So once you open the bracket, you will get x square, y square, y square. So that is, you will get 0 is equal to root of, isn't it? So so first remove this root and see. Okay, this is an equilateral triangle, isn't it? So you will get 0 is equal to, you will get 4x is equal to AC. See here, if I take this, find 8x is equal to 8. So x you will get as 1. Now, if you are going for y, what you get for y? by what you get? You'll get an irrational root. So that is irrational coordinate. So that is a that statement is correct. Then if you find out area, you find root 3 by 4 a square. Root 3 by 4 a square. That is the area of the equilateral triangle. Root 3 by 4 a square. That also you will get an irrational value. So the correct answer is both statements are correct. Option. Both the statements are correct. So that is both 1 and 2. Both 1 and 2. Both 1 and 2. Next part of this question, next part of the same sub question, this see the question number 3024. The difference of the coordinates of the third vertex. Difference of the coordinates of the third vertex. You have to find the difference. Okay. So from the first question, you will be getting x and y, no? So they are asking just the difference. Okay. So the difference you will be getting as 2 root 3. Difference you will be getting as 2 root 3. Option D. X minus y you will be getting as 2 root 3. Okay. So next question. Consider the following for the next 2 items that follow. The coordinates of 3 consecutive vertices of a parallelogram have given the equation of diagonal BDs. So for a parallelogram, they have given the A, B, C, they have given. So that is 1, 3, minus 1, 2, 3, 5. You have to find the BD. So here it is D. So you have to find this one. Okay. So for finding this one, you can find this coordinate you can find out. This coordinate you can find out. So how to find out this coordinate? So their slopes are equal, isn't it? Slopes are equal. So this coordinate you can find out. So what will be the slope here? Slope will be y2 minus y1, so 3 by 4. Slope will be 3 by 4. So here also slope will be 3 by 4. So that is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. That is equal to 3 by 4. So here y1 is 3. Here x1 is 1. So that can be 4 and 5, isn't it? 4 and 5. First 4 minus 3. 4 minus. So you have to get 3 here, isn't it? So that can be 6. 6 and here you need 4. See 6 by 5. 6 and 5 can be 6 by 6 and 5. So that will be 5 minus 3. Sorry, 5 comma 6. 5 comma 6. So 6 minus 3, 3. 5 minus 1, 4. Okay. Then what you need? You need the equation of diagonal BD. Equation of diagonal BD. So you can apply 2-point form. You will be getting the answer as option C. You can apply the 2-point form. I am just giving the 2-point form, substitute and see. So that is what is 2-point form? Y2 minus y1 is equal y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 do x minus x1. So that is the 2-point form. Substitute and see. You'll be getting the answer as option C. You'll be getting the answer as option C. Now what you need? You need the area of the parallelogram. Area of the parallelogram. So how to get the area of the parallelogram? Area of the parallelogram is base into height. Area of the parallelogram is base into height. Or here you can use A cross B. A cross B formula is also fine here. So you'll be getting the answer as 2 square units. You'll be getting the answer as 2 square units.